Now, many of you may be familiar with Earth. If you're not, I'll have you know it is actually where you are right now. As many existentialists love to emphasize, we are on a rock floating through space. But we're not alone. In fact, we are surrounded by numerous other rocks floating through space. We are also surrounded by not rocks floating through space. Some of these rocks and not rocks being bigger than us, and some quite a bit smaller. And while I'm sure this is a fact many of you are aware of, most people are familiar with images of the solar system that look like this, where it does show, a size discrepancy between the different planets, but not quite to the magnitude that is actually true. Thus, I took it upon myself to fabricate this image in Microsoft Paint, showing the different planets in our solar system and their sizes relative to each other. I also took into account their individual distances from the sun and positioned those to scale. Note, while the sizes of the planets are relative to the other sizes of the planets, and the distances of the planets are relative to the other distances of the planets, the size and the distance aren't relative to each other. So, for example, Jupiter isn't like one Jupiter length away from the sun, of course. But let's be honest, this image is mediocre work at best, and if you want to get a better understanding of the planet sizes relative to each other, I also took it upon myself to make comparisons of the planets in our solar system to everyday objects, so you can get a better sense of what planets look like in comparison to each other. For the sake of this video, let's start with Earth, because as I said at the beginning, it is actually where we are right now. Earth has a diameter, that's the distance across, of 12,742 kilometers, for the sake of this video. So, if Earth was the size of a baseball, Venus would be about the size of a tennis ball. If you're not familiar with sports, a tennis ball is slightly smaller than a baseball. While Earth and Venus were quite similar in size, Mercury is much smaller than both of them, and for the sake of this metaphor, Mercury would be about the size of one of those Lindt chocolate truffles. It is important to mention here, I do not advise eating mercury. Please do not eat mercury. Thank you. Returning to the sports metaphors, Mars would be roughly the size of a ping pong ball, or table tennis, depending on how seriously you take it. Jupiter would be about the size of a yoga ball. Now, I know yoga balls vary in size, so Jupiter would be the size of an 80-centimeter yoga ball. Also, I'm really proud of my drawings that I've done for this video, so I hope you all appreciate them. I felt really talented when doing this. As this video goes on, these ball comparisons will progressively get stranger and stranger. Saturn would be about the size of, well, I don't really know what these are called, but I'm going to show a picture of one on screen right now. Yeah, so if the Earth was the size of a baseball, Saturn would be about the size of one of those. Now I'm really disappointed that I couldn't make the yoga ball comparison work for Uranus, and fit in the obligatory Uranus anus joke in this video. But alas, enjoy this IKEA lamp instead. Okay, so looking back, Uranus and Neptune are roughly the same size, so I could have actually made Uranus a beach ball instead, and in that case, I could have put the bikini, and I could have gotten in the Uranus anus joke. But, you know, hindsight is always 2020, and I have already made all of these drawings, so Neptune is a beach ball. Pluto would be about the size of a musket ball. I wanted to include Pluto in this because I resonate a lot with Pluto. I too am quite small and always very cold. There are plenty of more planets that are not in our solar system. Some that are much larger than anything in our solar system, and some that are much smaller. For example, one of the biggest exoplanets ever detected could be over 300,000 kilometers in diameter. The comparison here, by the way, is one of those, like, bubble soccer, like, big inflatable ball suit things that you see at, like, the fairs. Meanwhile, one of the smallest possible exoplanets ever detected was only around 444 kilometers in diameter, this being in comparison to a pinhead. It's a pin. It's one of those tomato pin cushions. Yeah. Let's not forget the sun, of course. So now if the Earth was about the size of a baseball, the sun would have a diameter of around 8 meters, and the only 8-meter diameter ball comparison that I found to make is this art installation that this guy made of this giant gold ball. So that's what I drew. So yeah, if the Earth was a baseball, the sun would be this giant gold ball statue. Fascinating, I know. And you know, I was going to make some more comparisons with larger stars found in our galaxy. However, I couldn't find any more ball comparisons to do. It was getting kind of hard, so we're gonna call an end to this planet sphere comparison video. I really hope everybody enjoyed watching this. I know I definitely enjoyed making it. If you learned something new, amazing. If you didn't and just enjoyed my drawings on Microsoft Paint with planet diameters in the caption, that's fine too. Thank you for watching. Please suggest any more videos you want to see from me next. Thank you and have a nice day.